the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
Well, we're up and running. We're live, and that's recording. And I forgot to lock the door, so Curtis could walk in here.
Anybody could walk in here at any moment. And
That's
what makes it exciting.
It is exciting.
That's what makes it real.
So real.
Yeah.
The ladies are quiet.
There's danger. There's danger.
But they're still there. They're laughing. Now, remember, you guys are like 2 feet away from the microphone, so if you do want to say something, you have to
We won't hear a thing.
You kind of
We have to lean in.
Yes.
Oh, that was very good. That was Elise, ladies and gentlemen.
You can hear it like coming in. Like,
Elise.
Yes.
you have to lean in.
You know,
you kind of have Veronica, but she's still hiding from the microphone.
Yeah, absolutely. She's nervously hiding over there. Just a little bit. See, she even said that really far away from the microphone.
She did. That's gonna sound like this.
It's gonna sound like a Billie Eilish song.
Yes, it is.
Put a beat behind that. That's a hit.
Oh my God.
That's a Billie Eilish song. You whisper, and then your brother makes a beat that goes.
Do you have a brother?
Huh?
I have 2 brothers.
Two
so
brothers.
She has 2 brothers to make 2 different
So
beats.
now, Veronica, you can whisper over a track and be like, lay down that funky beat, bro. Do it.
In the bathroom.
In the bathroom, because it's nice and echoey, right?
Yeah. That's where they recorded their music, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
So they record in their bathroom? Wow.
This is also to recognize that she is a multi-platinum award-winning, fantastic. They. Not.
Her
I'm not.
and
No.
her
I mean, her,
brother.
like, yeah.
Yeah,
God,
her
I
and
can't
her
even
brother.
say that. I can't use the English language anymore.
Yeah.
Her and her brother as a they.
Are you having an episode like mine? Are you having an episode like mine last time?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
I'm not saying that she's a they. She might be they. I don't know, but I'm saying that she and her brother
I want you guys to know that my brother-in-law, who I love and adore so much, James, you're the best. You're awesome that you always support and listen to the show. He came in and commented under the episode about Nature You Scary, and he said, you exterminated that so well.
You did discriminate really well.
I busted out laughing, and I knew everybody would appreciate that. So, James, thank you for keeping the joke alive. We can't do the show without awesome listeners like you.
That's right. Without them, we forget what our tags are.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
discriminating the news is definitely
Exterminating
Oh my God,
the
is that a
country.
new
that has to be.
I guess, look,
Exterminating
But we're
the
gonna.
news.
Someone's gonna write that down because we'll forget it.
I got to allow it because we only have like 2 months left. So why not? Why not?
Well, we've had some pretty hilarious tags where we've made fun of each other that have lasted more than a few months.
More than a few months.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, hi everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Biofriendly Podcast.
I'm here with Jacob Givens.
I'm here with Noel Carroll, and we're both here with Veronica and Elise.
Veronica Cobone and Elise McCarthy.
Elise McCarthy.
Hello, everyone.
Yay! I love it.
So,
What are we talking
I think
about?
we did it. I think we got the intro. I think we covered it. I think people know that we're
I think we
serious.
got the jitters out.
We got
we
the
got
jitters. They're there. The shakes are gone.
Shake it off. Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to reference every
Song,
pop culture song that I am completely too old for.
Play, and the something's gonna stay, and I'm falling into hey, shake it off. It's exactly how it goes, right?
You are as good as Taylor Swift, if not better. In my opinion.
Thank you.
But this episode could be airing this week, could be airing next week. I don't know. So it may look like we have Thanksgiving webbing up. It may.
Yeah,
I don't
fine.
know.
It looks like
which is
good.
fine.
It's good. Yeah.
But there is when we chose today's episode.
I predict that when we get to it, let's just extend the. No, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna break it. Well, I predict that you're gonna have, because we have another one we're doing this week.
Yes.
But it's later on in the week.
Yes, it's close.
And you're going to be close. You're going to be right to the edge, and you're going to be like, "What am I at? Am I gored?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And you're
right.
not going to want to do it.
I'm not going to want to put that one together.
So I think we're pretty safe. I think this is
the one that's going to happen?
This is the one that's going to happen. I think the next one that
is going to happen the next week.
is the one where we're going to be like, "Hey, welcome to our Halloween background for no reason," because it's not Halloween. I think that's
fair.
I'll bet this is. I'm not going to say definitely, but
You're probably right.
I'm predicting based on past issues and situations
that you think that this could be.
Yeah.
But so I saw a funny jack-o'-lantern carved the other day that was a very scary image on the jack-o'-lantern. And the image on this jack-o'-lantern was the check engine light of your car.
Terrifying.
That's terrifying. And I figured that that's kind of a fun kickoff into our category today, which is we've talked a lot about, emissions and whatnot. No, that's very important. That's great. But the whole car itself, right? We gotta wash it. We gotta clean it. We gotta maintain it. We gotta know how to, take good care of it. So I was kind of thinking like, well, there's the maintenance stuff, the day-to-day maintenance stuff that is important to the environment and sustainability. And when I saw that check engine light, I was like, that does strike the fear in hearts of everyone. When you see that check engine light come on, you're kind of like, oh no, how long can I drive on this without doing anything about it, right?
Exactly.
That's happened to us all.
That's the American way.
That's the American way. Just ignore it. It'll go away. Actually, has that ever happened to you before where your check engine light comes on and you go, oh no, and then you just like blow it off for like a week or two and then it goes off?
Yeah,
and you're like,
then you're like,
Like it was fine. Well, because
the whole
sometimes
time you're driving, you're nervous, like, oh my God.
it's going to come back. It's going to come back.
Well, because if you leave your gas, if you forget to screw on your gas cap,
Yeah.
then the light will go off because there's a pressure difference. And so like that, just something like that will make your check engine light go off.
You guys.
And then you just screw back
He's
in the
so
cap, and after a
smart.
while, then it'll come. Like there's a lot of different reasons it goes off. It goes off for a million different
This is
things.
why we have Noel on the show. No
Because
other
it's
reason.
not
This is why we didn't fire him years ago.
We could have fired him day 2.
Yeah,
but
I'm not saying don't check your check. Like on Instagram, like, oh, it's just my gas cap. No, I'm saying it could be your gas cap. It could be something as simple as, and then it turns off. Right?
No, I never knew that, but I
Yeah.
think it is funny because you'll go in to see a car mechanic or whatever, and they'll be like, "Did your you're having a problem?" They're like, "Did your check engine light come on before?" And you're like, gee, I don't think so.
Come on in.
Come on in, Will's coming
Come on in.
We're gonna have a cameo by
Ladies
Will.
and gentlemen, Will's here.
I love it. Will's
Yeah.
gonna pop in during the
Live
podcast.
on the podcast. It's Will with
Oh,
stuff.
he's got stuff for somebody somewhere.
Here we go. And the stuff's been handed off, and we're back to action. Thanks for popping in, Will. It's good to see you again. How's the day going out there?
It's going pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good, man.
Good, thanks.
We actually love this because this is in the spirit of the show that anything could happen at any time, and,
Yeah.
and Will's
Didn't
awesome.
we predict this? You
We
said?
did. I
did,
said
'cause you
I
left-
said I left the door unlocked, and so I said if at any point in time somebody could walk in and it'll just make the show more exciting.
And it has.
By the way, these guys are very great,
Oh, thank you, Will. That's amazing.
very nice people.
What?
Oh, so
He's-
kind.
I'm so glad that we paid him up front.
I know. We did our monthly friendship.
Fantastic. Right on. Have
All
a
right,
good
we'll see
one,
you.
Will.
See you later, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was awesome.
was,
I do
nice.
kind of love it. Maybe I should stop locking the door because I kind of like the excitement of like what
I
could
think
happen.
more than that, you should put signs everywhere, like with arrows saying "Come on in." So only people from downstairs.
Recording
Open
in
the door.
process. Come on in.
Get them from the garage,
Just
and
say,
up
come
this
on.
into the elevator,
We're
up the
recording.
stairs, and
Yeah.
into our door.
We have the opposite of the film and TV recording light, where it's
Yeah.
like you encourage people out. We put the recording light on, and it's like, come in, please. Our recording light is green.
Oh my God. We should do a bit where we go on the streets and have the microphone. Do you recycle? Or just ask like environmental
Just
questions.
ask people on the street like green questions.
And we should be very offensive about it too,
Yes.
like really cut people off and just
Oh, yeah.
jump into the middle
Like-
of traffic.
awful.
Like Billy on the street.
Billy on the street. My son just discovered him, and not everything he says is appropriate.
Yeah.
I heard my son watching some Billy on the Street clips, and I was like, oh no, oh boy.
This is going to require some explanation.
This is going to be some more talks. Anyway, but back to car maintenance. So
Yes.
it actually started. We're going to actually start by talking about some of the basic things that you can do, and then we're going to get into some stuff like the car wash. Okay.
At the car
Car
wash.
wash.
Going at the car
Now
wash.
that is not a modern song.
No, it
That song predates these two by 40 years.
But Veronica knows it. 'cause
I
she
still
knows
have
all
it
the
on my
songs.
playlist.
You do?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like my top
They
song.
both know
I
it.
listen
See,
to.
they totally
It's
know
true.
car wash.
Well, because I think there's a point when when the music is old enough that it comes back and it's like played in movies and whatnot, right? It's like you have to pass a
I
certain
have
amount of time.
parents that are stuck in that time. so-
Yeah.
Ah, see, that's beautiful. Your parents are beautiful people for keeping
I'm
you up
also
with the good
stuck in
music.
my time. So, but
I'm
let's,
stuck in that time, and I wish
you?
I was born in that time.
we hear that a lot from the young people today,
Yeah.
that they look back and kind of go, I would have loved to be in that era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we could bring it back.
We can bring it back.
Let's just all let's all put on
Bell bottoms?
fancy hats and
Let's just
oh,
walk.
I'm in the wrong era.
Wrong
Bell
era.
bottoms.
Wrong.
They didn't really wear fancy hats then, did they? They wore they wore bandanas.
Yeah.
No, not bandanas. What the
are
one's
you
like
saying?
you know,
Yeah, bandanas.
yeah, is it a bandana where it's a longer strip? Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, durags?
Yeah, no, not do-rags. No, like...
He's thinking of
I don't think they wore do-rags in the 70s.
pirate chic. Pirate chic.
Pirate chic. No, I get an image of like a headband that's got a long...
That's very long.
String on the end of it that's almost a bandana, but it's not a bandana. It's like a headband. That's a scarf, sure. Sure. They wear a scarf on their head and then dance around in flower dresses.
Noel knows about gas caps, but not about
pop
fashion.
culture,
Not fashion.
I do not know what people were wearing in the 70s.
He's a very nice dresser, but I'm just saying, like, that's not your area of expertise. Our clothing garments from the 1970s. That's not one of your... It's just not in your wheelhouse.
That's such a specific
It
lane.
is. Like, if you're on Jeopardy right now, they're like, clothing items
my
from the
God.
1970s.
All I was thinking about was your green suit.
Which one? Which green?
Your suit that you wore to school.
Yes. You mean my velvet green
Velvet.
pinstripe
Okay.
suit that I wore?
Crushed velvet. Would that fit?
Crushed velvet.
Would that work?
I think so.
Okay. Good silk tops.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay. I'm getting there.
You're getting there.
Lots of rings on all your fingers.
Okay, you
A
surprised.
lot of leather.
A lot of leather.
A doobie.
The Doobie Brothers
They
band?
said-
Yes, it's great.
That's what they said back then, right?
They did. So, back to cars. So, this might go out to some of you road ragers out there, but did you know that altering your acceleration and speed actually can reduce the amount of gas consumption? Like, if you're revving up and slowing down and you're driving really fast and all that stuff, your car is burning obviously like way more gas. But if
This is a joke I have with my kids every time. When you see
Yeah.
when you go up to a stoplight and someone just hauls butt and then gets up right up next to you, and then they
And then they
fly
just
by
take
you, they
off.
take off, and then we stop. Then they stop at the next red light. Then you pull up slowly, and then they're
then
like
you-
agitated.
They're not getting
and
any
they're so
further than
frustrated.
you.
And then they go to the next light, and you're like, these lights aren't helpful. Like they're really gonna keep stopping you, and they're gonna keep making you just accelerate and stop. You're gonna
Yeah.
burn out your brakes.
Yeah.
You're gonna use too much gas. You're
Yep.
gonna cause wear and tear in your engine.
Yeah.
It's all in all not great. And you get agitated.
Yes.
And you see the person sitting there and they're just like shaking with
just
desire to
rage.
move.
Rage.
I gotta move.
It's like I'm
gotta get
sitting
out.
there in the car and I look to my left and I'm like, Noel, you're trembling.
Yeah. Well, because it's me. Yeah, the kids are in the car with my wife. They're laughing at me.
No, I'm kidding. I was going to say, aggressive driving, speeding up, rapid acceleration, and braking can lower your gas mileage by up to 33%. And it may also raise pollutant emissions.
Yeah.
So chill out there on the road.
Yeah,
Calm down.
So, like, the reason
And
why...
it'll save the planet.
Do you remember in the old days, and a lot of our audience won't because we have a very young audience, as you
Yes,
know.
yes.
But do you remember in the old days, the speed limit used to be 55?
I Can't Drive 55 by Sammy Hagar.
Right, before William Jefferson Clinton changed it and said you can go faster than 55, or actually it's up to the states, it's up to the whatever. So, and then the speed limits got more like 65.
And then you go to Arizona and it's like 75.
Exactly.
But it's really like 80.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's how fast people go.
in our heart of hearts in LA, we drive 80.
We drive 80.
And that's what I do too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So the reason that speed limit at the time was 55 is because there was a determination when they asked the auto manufacturers what's the most efficient speed that the car can go. Mm-hmm. And that was it, 55 miles per hour. Because it was actually an oil conservation law. The law wasn't put there to make people drive safer or drive slower. The law was put there because there was an oil crisis in the 70s. I didn't know about pants in the 70s, but I knew about oil crises.
He knows about oil crisis.
Yeah,
Again,
and
it's
so-
another piece of information
Right,
that is awesome.
and that's why we have a gigantic oil reserve is in response to that. And that's also why we dropped the speed limits because we needed fuel to last longer. And then there was a bunch of new efficiency rules to improve how fast cars drive and all kind of stuff.
Whoa.
And then we found a whole bunch more oil and everybody was like, it doesn't matter. Let's drive fast again.
Wow.
Yeah, but now we have a new crisis, which is making people go, God, we got to stop using so much oil.
So much oil.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to start calling you Noel Dark Web Carol. You know what I mean? Like, I look up stuff on the internet and then Noel's like, actually. You know what I mean? It's like, this is all the stuff that's hidden from our eyes as to why things were chosen that way. I love it. That's amazing.
That's crazy. Do you look this stuff up?
He's just,
I don't know where some of this stuff. Yeah, I mean, I read a lot. I read a ton.
Okay.
I don't necessarily look stuff up. I just read stuff, and then that's
Just
sticks.
comes across,
and I gave up reading like 20 years
Yeah.
ago. I just look at pictures.
20
all
years
that's
ago, I was
on
four.
all that's on my iPad are word pictures. It's like a ABC book, and it's like cars.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
Is
night,
that why
Moon.
the Instagram page
Good
looks
night,
like
car.
Good night,
Good
car.
night, emissions.
Yes.
Okay. All right. well, we'll
Goodbye,
keep it-
engine light.
Yeah. So this thing. So it follows up to support your claim, which is studies. Studies show that fuel economy peaks at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. Above 60 miles per hour, it begins to drop dramatically, and you can estimate a 5% in loss of fuel efficiency for every 10 miles per hour. So it looks like you do know what you're talking about.
Now and again.
You do dream about me.
Well, it's like, do you remember Adam Lee on our trip to Wisconsin? How he's complaining?
Yeah.
He's like, I got this Prius because I wanted to save fuel economy, and I'm just spending so much money on gas.
Yeah.
And it's because the Prius is incredibly efficient when you're in traffic, like on city streets.
Yeah, stop
because
and go.
it uses the electric part while it's doing that, right?
Yeah.
But when you're actually using the fuel, like the gas, which is what you do at high speeds on the freeway, then it becomes just like a crappy Toyota. He would go and he'd be like, I'm not getting any fuel coming back. That's worse. I'm spending more money. And then they've done lots of tests where like a BMW versus a Prius at the time was like this famous Road and Track article where they raced them and did a fuel economy test. And in traffic, I mean, it smoked it. The Prius is way better.
Amazing.
But you put it on the highway and it's not even close. The BMW went like 70% farther.
Wow. That's amazing. So good note to all you hybrid owners out there. If you're wondering why, if you're not in traffic, so you got to get yourself out in traffic.
Yeah.
You got to move to cities like LA.
Now with electric vehicles, it's the same though. Like you're using less energy.
Yeah.
To go at like 55 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah,
I
so
think
it's
I think go a little faster actually with those.
Good rule of thumb then, guys. So, all right. So the next point is you should really try
And you do want to, by the way, I'm sorry I keep cutting you off.
Oh, I
You
wanted
do
it.
want to worry
I like
about
it.
efficiency in your electric car.
Yeah.
Okay, because you might think that it's it's free to just plug it in and who cares? I don't have to spend money. But that energy cost when you are plugging it in, you're sucking energy that could be used for other things off of the grid.
Yes.
And the more energy you suck away, the more energy we need to find from different sources. And right now, a lot of those are still oil based.
Yeah. And that's the
And
funny
coal-based.
thing. We covered this on the podcast before, but I don't know if you were on this one, which is people get these electric cars and they plug it in. And in their mind, if they don't know enough about it, they're thinking, well, there's literally no emissions. I'm not causing any emissions at all. And it's like, well, the place you're charging, the source of the power is still coming from fuel and oil. And so we're not completely out of the woods, and you still do need all this technology.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, one day we'll convince everybody to go nuclear.
Yeah, I know.
And then no big deal, man.
Yeah,
go
no
nuts.
big- yeah, let's do it.
Well, not go nuts, but yeah, you can pretty much go nuts.
Go nuts, man. Go nuclear, go nuts. That needs to be their slogan.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh man, was it on a podcast? Was it Ramiro who said that they were working on nuclear? I mean, it wasn't me. It was after the podcast.
It might have been after the podcast.
But he mentioned that they've developed tiny nuclear cells that are contained where they can you can just put it have a car operate on a tiny nuclear cell that'll last. It'll never go.
It'll never go. You can drive this car forever.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it was after the podcast.
Yeah.
So there's a little nugget.
It's crazy.
If you listen to the Ramiro podcast, you just got a little in-depth, behind the scenes.
He's a brilliant guy.
He is. Yeah, he was. Okay, next, if you're getting rid of your engine fluids, batteries, or car parts, you should, of course, recycle them and make sure that they are disposed of in good ways. So, like, if you're changing your oil or fluids in your house and you're just dumping them on the street,
Just dump it in your fishbowl.
don't do that.
Yeah.
It's a
Do you know
terrible
that little
idea.
fish tank that you have?
Yeah,
Just dump the oil in there.
It's fine.
That's what we do it all the time.
It's the fish food. They love it. No, so most engine fluids, batteries, and many car parts can now be recycled, most of them, or remanufactured and reused. If you need help finding out how to properly dispose of an item, call your local government waste management agency, or you could visit a site like Earth 911. So that's just a tip for anybody. But usually when you go to places like mechanics, most of them, at least, they get rid of it the proper way. But if you're like one of those people that's working on your car on your own, you don't want to just be dumping like oil and engine fluids and stuff like that, like in on the ground or on the street or whatever.
Yeah, there actually are regulations for this
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I know
Yeah.
we think the government does nothing, and often I'm the person preaching that. But it's not always true. They
Yeah.
do. There are regulations for that, and then you got to follow them, or you get in
gotta follow
trouble.
'em. You gotta
And
follow
so
'em.
when you're
And then another important thing is you got to make sure you check your tires, because that tire pressure, you got to make sure you check them if you can, like every month, to make sure they're inflated properly. Because if you're driving on like kind of low tires, your engine has to work harder.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's better. So in racing,
Mm-hmm.
it's a balance they use between like how much grip do I need versus how much speed
Right.
I need, right?
Right.
So the harder your tires are, like the more inflated they are, basically the faster you can go.
Yeah.
Right. And the more efficiently you can go.
Right.
Right. But then like in racing, it sometimes is a problem because the track will get slick for some reason, like it's raining or
Right.
there's there's a spill on the track or whatever, right? And so suddenly there's an issue where, oh God, the cars are sliding off the road because they're too,
Right.
so like so sometimes they'll actually put on like rain tires that are less inflated and that have more grip and that don't go as fast,
Yeah.
but you can deal with the rain and not fall off the track.
Yeah.
Because when it's not as filled up, more of it's touching the ground because you have more surface contact.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? So make sure everybody out there, check your tires, make sure your pressure's good.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
important.
inflate it beyond what they
don't-
say to inflate it.
Don't blow up if you don't. Now, most...
Look for the PSI. It's usually in the little white sticker that's sitting on the inside of your door.
The PSI is what tells you what the tire pressure is, and it's written on the side.
Pounds per square inch.
Pounds per square inch. That's what that is. And when you go to those tire air places at the gas station, usually they have that PSI meter built in on them.
Yeah, and often it's on the tires too. If you look
Yes.
on like the tire itself, you'll see the
number
the
that
number.
you need.
Yeah, don't go above that. Right, there's a reason that they give you that number because that's the kind of the safe spot. If you accidentally go above it, no, you're not going to blow up your tire. It's not the end of the world. It's just not. It's just don't do it.
Yeah,
like if you go a
yeah.
little bit above, be like, oh, you can also just
I've
pull
done
some
it
air
on
out.
accident.
Huh?
I've done it on accident.
Yeah.
You have gone
It
over.
happens.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
happens. It happens.
Yeah.
My
It's a-
tire blew up.
It did.
It blew up.
Yeah.
Wait, wow,
Oh,
you
no.
went way above then.
You
I
had.
wasn't
You
paying
went
attention.
massively
Yeah,
above.
It was
you were
my
like-
first car ever.
Yeah.
I was young.
Well, that's what happens. That's
Tell
what
me
happens,
this,
right?
What, when it blew up, were you like holding the thing on? What happened?
Yeah.
Did you just lose did you freak out? That pop would have been insane.
Yeah.
All I heard was a pop, and I was like,
Uh-oh.
oh, damn. And then I called my
good.
mom. I was like, Mom, like,
Yeah.
my tire popped. She
Yeah.
was like, how
That's
did
awesome.
it pop?
Yeah.
I
I
feel
said, I don't know.
I don't know.
I had this hose of air hooked up to it, and I was looking away, and it blew up. Well, that's the thing is like when you're young, and this goes to all of our listeners. We do have a young audience. I got a car from my parents that was their car that I got to borrow, and then eventually they just let me drive it all the time. It was an old beat up Corsica. It wasn't a great car, but I didn't know about changing oil. I just didn't know. My parents didn't sit me down and teach me that whole thing. Don't worry about the phone. Let it go.
Okay.
So didn't know about changing oil.
No calls right now.
No
if you
calls
want
right
if you
now?
want to communicate, go into the chat.
We
are live.
Send me a page,
Yeah.
please. Send me a page. So I didn't know about the oil, and so I had driven way past the oil change needed. And I was on the road, and it started doing this weird kind of, smoky, burny, smelly. And I was going, uh-oh. And then at the time, I had a girlfriend, and her father was really good with cars. And he was like, you needed to change your oil. Did anybody ever tell you? And I was like, no. And so he and I changed my oil together. It was a nice bonding moment. He taught me how to do
Wow.
it. So it was a nice little moment. We broke up because of it. No, I'm just kidding.
Because I was bonding with him.
Because I was bonding with a dad, and I was like, I don't want to be with you. I just want to hang out
Sweetheart,
with your dad.
I love your father.
but not you. and he and I are married to this day.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
No. All right. This next one is tough for me because I run a few degrees hot. And this one's about using the air conditioning wisely
I don't
in your
wanna
car.
hear that.
I know, because if you go in my car, it's like the polar vortex in there,
Yeah.
and I leave it that way. Even on days where it's literally 50, 60 degrees. My brother was here visiting recently, and he got in the car with me. And he turned on the heated seats, and he's like, oh, these are awesome. And I go, I never used them. I was like, if it was 30 outside, I wouldn't use heated seats. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah. No warmth for this guy. Just like to keep it cold. So this one says, try rolling your windows down instead of using your AC while driving around town. If you need some cool air, consider using your AC in short bursts and recirculate the cool air. At higher speeds, use your AC as the extra drag caused by your open windows actually uses more fuel. So just basically saying, if you're going on the freeway, that's when you want to use your AC. You don't want to have your windows down. But I guess using your AC all the time is not good. Oh, no.
This is an emergency, apparently. It's like
Somebody is trying to reach you.
hit ignore and then let me know. The little red X.
Yeah. Anyway,
Unless it says...
if it says, please call now, 911, this is an emergency, then give it
Yes.
to Noel, and we'll vamp.
Yeah, we'll vamp.
It's Jose.
Yeah, well, he probably wants to be, but we'll live. Sorry, Jose.
Jose,
when you're
we'll get
listening to
back
this
to you.
podcast, if you're wondering why I didn't answer your phone or call you back, it's because I was on a
you're
podcast.
recording. The fans need Noel right now. He's dropping some serious knowledge.
They do.
Okay. But now let's move on to car washes, because I think that's what people would be curious about, right?
Wait,
Would you?
we talk about air conditioning for a
Okay,
minute.
yeah.
this
Sorry,
is-
I got distracted by it. Sorry.
Yeah, the phone call.
It just
Yeah.
basically says that you need to, be mindful of using your AC all the time.
It's interesting. My air conditioner is always, no matter how hot or cold it is these days, it's 69 degrees.
Always.
Yes, because I have a middle schooler.
Yeah. You've said this before on the show. You
have?
said this,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Not
Okay, I
about
don't know what I've said or haven't said,
Not
but
about the
geez.
AC. Not about the AC. It was about that number being somewhere else and him being happy that it was set to
Oh,
that
good.
number.
Well, so the audience already knows. And
Yeah.
for the reference, if they haven't, I have a middle schooler.
Yes.
So I think I'll set the air for whatever I want it to be.
Yeah.
And then I'll take him to school, and I don't pay attention to what's happening. I think I'm driving, and then I notice. Then suddenly it's at 69 degrees again. It's always.
That's a great
at
temperature
69
choice,
degrees.
Owen. I wholeheartedly support it. 69 is great.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it says air conditioning. We've done an episode about this before, but
Yeah.
air conditioning is a major contributor to the global warming and uses a massive amount of energy to operate. It can increase fuel consumption by up to 20% because of the extra load on the engine.
And I would actually probably argue that is worse than the drag that you would get even on
Really?
the freeway. Yeah, probably.
Really?
Probably.
Yeah. And I would trust you because so far you've been spot on with everything, except for 70s clothing. You were a little
70s clothing.
hit or miss.
Yeah, it was not so great in 70s clothing. That's good. But I did the crushed velvet, I realized.
I want to see you in a job interview.
Long collars.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Very long collars.
But yeah. Butterfly collar. It's
Yeah,
called.
butterfly collar.
Butterfly collar.
Yeah.
You, I'd love to see a skit where you're like interviewing for like a car company.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Wow, Noel, you've really, really knocked this out of the park. But before you go, could you tell us a little bit about 70s fashion?" And you're like,
Leopard underpants.
"Oh no, no." They're like, "Thank you for your time."
They didn't wear leopard. I thought they wore leopard underpants, like tidy leopards.
I think they probably did. Okay. Maybe they did, or maybe they didn't. I wasn't really.
Tidy whiteys at least were in, right?
No,
I'm not wrong on
for
that.
sure. Lots of tidy whities.
Lots
in
of
the
tight
70s.
underpants.
Tidy whities.
Yeah.
So
They were
anyway,
constricting reproductive production. Back then.
that's
That was
right.
the idea. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So don't misuse the AC. It's saying. But,
In conclusion, don't misuse the AC.
you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. But before we run out of time, because we're trucking along, we've covered a lot of great ground, right? Has this been cool? Has this been helpful?
Very helpful.
These are things sometimes, honestly, that at my age I think, oh, this is just common knowledge. But the truth is, when I was 17, 18, 19, I didn't know any of this crap.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish somebody in my school classroom would have said, hey, before you go out there in the real world, here's some basic things you need to understand to survive. And nobody was really teaching that. So in a lot of ways, I think that the Biofriendly Podcast is not only about sustainability, but it's like
Survival.
Hey, here's some things that you need to survive. Here's a blade. Go in the mountains.
Yeah.
Meet me in the morning.
Maybe in the morning you'll be fine. Yeah. While we're out, before we go to car wash, another just kind of it's a right. So we used to do, because our company, as you know, one of the things we talk about Green Plus,
Green
right?
Plus,
which also
absolutely.
improves your fuel economy if you're interesed.
Absolutely.
By about 7%, according to the
7%.
United Nations.
According to the United Nations.
But so we used to have these things. I remember before I was very massively involved with Green Plus, obviously, which I am more so now. But I certainly would get it put in my car, and we would have these kind of contests, like me and the different people who worked at the company and like the engineers and whatever. You would try to get the best fuel economy you possibly could. It was like a game.
Oh, that's cool.
So it wasn't just the Green Plus. Like you had to figure out how to get the and it's funny when you pay attention to it and you're actually focused on doing it, your fuel economy improves just from you changing little things.
Yes.
Little things like how fast am I accelerating all the time?
Right.
It makes a huge difference. If you're just opening up and getting a ton of fuel instead of just gradually working yourself up to the speed, how fast am I slowing down? Like, am I able to keep my momentum at different times? Am I picking a good lane so that I can keep kind of moving? Not obviously unsafely, but if you've got room to move and the person in front of you is stopping and you can get over safely, then get over. Keep your momentum going.
Yeah.
Because if the momentum's going, you get better fuel economy, and then
That's
you waste less oil, and it's better for the environment. So it's just little things like that. But if you just kind of pay attention to it, you'd be amazed at how you sort of naturally your brain adapts.
Yeah.
And you just figure out little things that make the car go farther.
Yeah.
And then you just get better and better and better fuel economy. And you get insane, like absurd. You'll be amazed compared to what you used to get.
I encourage people who listen to the show, compete with your friends.
Yeah.
Start it.
Yeah.
Start being like, I
Win.
bet you I could get better fuel economy than you, and you guys could all like measure. And the person who wins, like you buy them like a burger or like a beer or something like that.
Yeah.
A new car. No, not a new car.
Brand new
Fill up their tank.
Too far, Veronica. Too far.
Yeah, no, but and usually in
Let's do it, 'cause
most
I'll
cars
never
these
drive
days.
it.
What?
I said, let's do it because I won't drive anywhere.
Oh, there you go.
Most cars
In most cars these days, you can just find it on the dash, like
Yeah.
your
The
mileage
computer.
indicator. The computer will tell you, and then you'll look at what your normal number is and go, okay, that's my normal number. And then
Yeah.
when you start to do it, you'll be like, wow, and then you just get obsessed with how high you can get the
Get
number to go.
obsessed, guys. Get obsessed with low, emissions and fuel efficiency and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Get obsessed.
Obsessed with fuel
Yeah.
efficiency.
And another one that I read somewhere else before we get out of here. Now, this is one that I struggle with because if there's people like me out there, when you fill up your gas tank, I love those even numbers of the amount that I'm spending. I love the even numbers. I obsess over it. I like to end up on an even number. And even though now,
So like when the gas, like the amount of gallons you put in, like it
No,
has
no,
to be
the
a
dollar
5?
amount. The
Dollar,
dollar
so the
amount.
dollar amount has to be a 20 or 25.
I like it
or
to
a-
be on those numbers that are
30.
really well rounded. I don't like it to be like,
51.
I don't like it to be like 62.88. I'm like, ugh, I really want to get this up to like, at least 63. So it's 63.00. Now in modern cars,
Tell me about your mother.
I have a lot of problems. So many. And you'll see them in my mother. I love her dearly, but we used to
the best.
we used to joke. She wanted a boat, she wanted to have a boat one day, like a sailboat or something, and we said we would call it the SS Nervous or like the SS Anxious. My mother is scared of escalators.
Yeah.
You have to stand in front of her on an escalator going up or going down. She's
That's
scared of
frightening.
heights. My mother
Terrifying.
has a lot of anxiety, and as I'm getting older, I'm like, I am exactly like my mother. So anyway, I love the rounded number, but modern cars are building more and more canisters in the fuel pump that protect this. But if you have an older car, and it's worth mentioning, if you are trying to top off, that's not really a great idea because you're letting a lot more of the fuel vapors get out in the world, and that's tough for me because I'm kind of like one of those people that I'm like, I really want this to be a rounded number, right?
Well, you could predict. You could be like,
could try.
here's my tank size.
Yeah.
Here's it's about a
And try
quarter
to ease
tank.
off
And so it'd be like,
beforehand.
you know what? I'm just going to put in, the old days you'd say $15, but now 55.
Recently, mine has been 70 or something. It's been out of control.
It is stupid.
Stupid
By the way,
expensive.
for the record, I wanted to say I adore your mother.
Yeah, of course.
With all of my heart.
Of course.
And I said that statement because it's
Freud.
It was
It's
the
like-
Freud.
it's like-
Exactly.
yeah, it's
Tell
a
me
joke,
about
which
your
is
mother.
tell me
I was
about
trying to
your
be
mother.
the psychiatrist in the moment.
I knew 100%, and I really did the riff on her more.
Yeah.
So
no, I
you're-
threw the riff one out. I was
yeah.
like, I wonder if people think that I'm bagging on Jacob's mom. I was like, no, I was trying to do the.
Yeah. He wasn't being hostile to my mom at all. But anyway, so I did about the fuel pump thing. So it's a good idea to probably to not worry about that rounded number, or like Noel said, kind of predict it, kind of go, this is probably what's going to be there. That way
Yeah.
you don't, if you want those rounded numbers, don't go over.
Yeah.
Don't do the thing
Like
where
if it's usually $75 you're spending, then to be like, I'm going to stop at 70.
70, right. And that's why that mechanism is built to then we got a comment.
Yeah.
We got a comment. Who's talking to us
From James Orton.
James Orton.
James.
James, we shouted you out at the top of the episode. I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw it. Did he see it?
No.
Oh, James, we talked about discriminating and how you came in and commented. That was literally the first thing I said at the top of this show. So what's he saying?
So he said, great, you guys are live.
Yeah.
Love the last episode and great topic today. I always think about car wash chemicals going right back into the earth with a sad face.
Yes. That's exactly that's the last thing that we're going to talk about.
James,
Thank you, James.
Do you always think about it?
He does. He does. He works in cars.
You don't sometimes think about your children. You don't occasionally think about.
He said you guys are the best.
You're the best too, James.
You're the best too. He's look, I see him at Christmas and all he does is goes, I'm worried about the cars. So worried about the cars. Can't wait to see you this holiday season, buddy. But anyway, no, that's a perfect point because here's what would surprise you.
That, by the way, sorry, that is just an example for those of you who are following the Painless Green.
Yes.
Who follow us on Twitter or Instagram.
I announced that we were going live,
Not
and
Instagram.
only James has the wherewithal to know how important it is to jump on a live stream.
Well,
and comment.
there's other like thumbs and things on there, but they're not talking.
they're
You
not
should
talking.
talk to us during the thing. James is talking to us,
And
right?
now he's going to get what he asked asked for.
He's going to get what he asked for.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
absolutely.
So,
He's
you know,
gonna get it.
if
Yeah.
you are, if you're listening to the
gotta get
show
it.
and you want your input to come into the show and to be
Yes.
part of what we talk about, we don't take phone calls, as you can tell by the fact that we keep canceling
ignore
every
the
one of them.
calls. Yeah, yeah.
But we do accept interruptions on the chat
Comments.
on both Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So
Absolutely.
get those links by following us on Twitter or on the painless screen on
Yes,
Facebook.
that's we always drop it in
Facebook.
advance, and you can check us
Okay,
out.
this one's always tricky.
Yeah, what?
Because I don't know who it is. Good Cops TV.
Oh, that's Mr. Derek.
Oh, boy.
Derek is here too. Derek
He
said,
said, "Are you sure you want me to talk to you?"
of course we do, buddy. But we're gonna.
He's going to say he's
Said
Clayton.
That's so sad.
He's going to say he's Clayton.
Well, we're gonna go into the car wash thing because I think that's kind of how we're gonna tie up this car maintenance episode.
Beautiful.
So this would surprise you because my thought before I read this was it would be the opposite, but actually commercial car washes are the more sustainable option than washing the car yourself. Dun dun dun! And
like
that's
they recycled it.
that's surprising. Exactly. So when I dug into the information earlier, is you think, okay, well, if I'm washing in my driveway and I'm using soaps and I'm doing all these things, well, how could I be more than this powerful machine? Well, the people who have those machines, they pay for that water. So you know they're not going to waste it. And also, every drop that falls off your car that has all that soot and all that stuff, it is treated before it goes anywhere. It is literally, it has a system to clean it, make sure it's okay. If you were to wash your car in your driveway, all that rushes down your driveway into the street and then goes into the sewers and goes out into systems, water systems, and it's chemicals and suds and soaps and things like that. So that can be bad. Whereas the car washes, they have a controlled environment where the water is being used in a very specific way, can't be wasted. And so if you're going to wash your car, now if you are insistent.
And think about James on this, people.
Yes, 'cause
James
he's been worried about
this. Is
this.
all he worries about every minute of every second of every day. He's like Jacob's mom on this. It's just a nervous obsession.
This might be the best. This might be the best Christmas we ever have.
Yeah.
Because he's going to not worry about it anymore.
No, because we're not going to. We're going to start washing our cars at professional car washes.
Professional car washes.
To save poor James's heart.
We want him to feel better. But so if you are insistent that you want to wash your car at home and you don't want to go to a commercial car wash, they actually recommend that wash your car on soil or gravel and not the driveway.
Yeah.
Because then the water will go down in the soil. And while chemicals might not be the earth can handle it, right? It can figure it out. It can work its way through and filter its way into the earth. And some of that water is going back to ecosystems.
Also, you can look up organic and earth-friendly
Friendly
soaps.
soaps. 100%.
That are also good for your car. They exist.
Yeah.
They're out there. There are tons of them. They really are.
Yeah.
We can even look for some if we want and throw them
I'll
up
post
on the panel screen.
some on the painless screen. I will share some links to some things that you should try. So if you're like, I get it, because like washing your car in a driveway at home or something like that it has this very Americana like summertime out there. I always wear my bikini.
I always put on a bandana, but not the one I'm thinking of.
No,
it's one that's kind of like you wrap it around your head and then it has strings
long,
going
long
down
and you
the
wear
side.
and you wear bell bottoms
And a bell bottoms.
and a gold chain
and a butterfly
collar
and
that's
leopard
sleeveless.
tight underpants.
You really need to put this outfit together.
Ladies and gentlemen,
to see it.
this is Noel's Halloween costume. It's called At the Car Wash.
It's called Confused 70s Man.
Exactly. But
It's called Noel in the 70s.
Noel in
That's
the
what I thought
70s.
I was supposed to look like.
Isn't this the look? If we sent you in a time machine, you'd go back and they'd all lower their glasses.
No, yes, down, not up.
What is going on here? So
That's really good. No,
Yeah.
because it's true. I think about washing the car. When I wash my car.
Yes.
Which now I'll never do again. I
Never
feel
wash in your
awful
driveway
about
ever
it.
again. If you do, you have to drive it on your lawn.
On my lawn.
Which I'm sure your wife will love. You just like put the car like right over your front lawn. It's like, what are you doing?
What's wrong with you, you nerd? But when I do wash my car, there is kind of a beyond just that feeling of Americana. There's also just a
connection to
the car. That's a good way. Yeah, connection to the car.
Absolutely.
Like you feel like me and my car, we're together. We're doing this. I'm cleaning. I'm caring for you. So I feel like We should maybe for suckers. What?
Derek said.
Oh boy.
He said he's.
Here, go ahead and move the microphone. Why don't you do the microphone, and then if Veronica needs it, she can grab it.
I drive to LA for that car wash. I think he's talking about when you guys are in your.
Oh, when I'm in my bikini?
Your bikini,
Yeah, he does. He drives here
Derek.
every time I wash. He goes, I got to get Givens to wash my car. I put on my bikini, and boy, oh boy, the suds fly, and it's magic.
You know, you can see Derek in almost that outfit on Good Cops.
Oh, yeah,
practically.
absolutely. The leopard print
Absolutely,
underwear? Absolutely.
Well, there's
we
the
always
leopard
put
print
him in
underwear, and also like he's got like that the episode where we go into the kids' Halloween party or whatever it is, or toga
yeah,
party,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
he's
got
in
like
there.
the hat and the whole thing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Derek looks great. Derek keeps
Yeah.
himself in shape.
He
Yeah.
says he would pay top price for that.
Top price?
Yeah.
All
You don't have to pay a thing. It's free.
It's for Derek. It's free.
And for Noel.
What?
Yeah.
It's
You have
free.
to pay. You have to pay for Noel.
I'm expensive.
He's expensive.
I'm expensive. Yeah.
No, but you were saying before you said the connection to the car. That's a
Yeah,
thing.
so I'm thinking
I get it.
if you have to. So yeah, you find a surface that could use the water, and then you find soaps that aren't going to kill what's in the ground, right? And then make sure you've got a cap on you've got something on your hose
That you can control the water
that
flow.
controls the water at the source, right?
Yeah.
Where you're actually pressing
Yes.
a nozzle in order to get it to open.
Yeah.
Or a hand, whatever, a
Yeah.
trigger, so that it'll open the nozzle and actually get the water out, right?
Yeah.
So as opposed to just like having the water just kind of run away,
Yeah.
right, and then have just a bucket with some soap in the water,
Yeah.
and you can kind of control the amount of water you're using, and then it's maybe not as bad.
Yeah. No, I agree.
As
I
it would've
agree.
been.
So those are options if you want to wash at home. And if you do go to a commercial car wash, there's a lot of pressure now to advertise that you're doing the right thing for the planet. So look for the people that are saying, hey, our wastewater is 100% recycled and used over and over again. We use good chemicals for your car that are clean and organic. Look for those places, because if you go to a car wash and it literally has a skull and crossbones over planet Earth, that's a bad one.
Yeah.
Don't go there.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they're advertising that they're destroying the earth.
They're like, it's called Destroy the Earth Car Wash.
Right.
Don't go to that one.
Yeah. Although sometimes I wonder. I feel like companies like McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
Like just double down. Go in.
Just commit.
Say yeah, we're not good we're terrible.
Yeah.
We're terrible for the planet. We're not about that. We're about profit and flavor.
This is probably the last episode you'll ever see, because McDonald's is going to have us killed.
You know what I mean? We're
Yes.
about profit and flavor.
Yeah, right.
Just say it. Like if you're the
just
car
say
wash,
you are who you are.
if you're the car wash that does that, goes, man, we clean your car better than the other guys, but we are dumping this water and the poison into the fish, directly into their eye sockets.
These are all jokes, because of course we don't want that to happen.
We don't want to have people make the. No, I'm saying if it happens.
Oh, if it happens.
I'm not
just-
saying we're not.
We don't want to
voting.
encourage it.
I'm saying if that happened, well, McDonald's is what it is.
Yeah.
They're
But
not.
car
Like,
washes.
McDonald's isn't going to suddenly become an environmentally conscious company. Like
Yeah.
why, they can't. They can't.
No, they have to. They have to just stop doing what they're
They
doing.
don't have a way to do it, so they
Right,
may as well
right.
just say we're not.
We're not trying.
But like when it comes to the car washes, yeah, if that's your business model, well then
Yeah.
you may as well lean in.
Yeah, but the funny thing is that McDonald's, even if they tried, like, here's the thing, they're going to constantly greenwash, because they have to follow the times. They have to. They have to be
Yeah.
like, by 2040, our ice cream machines will be 100% eco-friendly. You know what I mean? Like, they have to.
Well, and they will, because you're right. The
pressure.
Times is going to force them to be greener for sure.
Yeah.
But they're
never going to
look.
necessarily
They've got
be
their job is to create flavor at a low cost.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why people go to McDonald's.
So if you don't believe the lies, is what we're
Yeah,
trying to say.
that's what we're saying.
But in summation,
I'm just discriminating the information.
Oh, here he is, discriminating again. But to wrap up the show today, what I was going to say is Noel made a good point about having that connection with your car, because in all honesty, having a connection with your car is sustainable. Because if you have a good awareness, we joked about the check engine line at the very beginning coming on and you being afraid of it. But if you have a good maintenance schedule, you keep your tires inflated, you drive a reasonable speed, you take care of your car, you kind of treat it as like an appendage of yours, it's like a part of you, you're being sustainable. Mm-hmm. So even when you wash it, you take care of it, you're thinking of, what can I do to make sure that my car is running the most efficiently? That's a green choice.
A very green choice.
Yeah. So that's the moral of today's tale. Be green, love your car.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was a tale we did today.
Yeah, and Derek said earlier he didn't know that he was actually doing something positive for the environment.
Yeah.
By washing his car.
Yeah. At a commercial place.
Yeah.
You are. And again, we say that's the more sustainable choice. You definitely don't want to wash your car every day at a commercial place because that's a lot of energy and, but when you need to get it washed, to go to a commercial place.
I think this is great, despite all the things that people say about Derek. They actually, we do think he's okay for the environment.
He is great for the environment. Well, guys, that's it. We covered a lot of great stuff. I hope you learned a lot about taking care of your cars. We hope we put James's heart at ease.
I think we helped James a lot. I think we helped Derek a lot.
And Derek now knows that he has a bikini wash waiting for him.
I think we helped the rest of you a lot for jumping on. Don't be afraid to chat during the lives. We love to hear from you. We love to have you jump into our show.
What do you say? It's always a good sign when Derek writes something and Elise just starts laughing.
Just starts losing it.
What are you saying? Or can you read it on the air? I don't even know.
No, he just said yay to his bikini wash.
Yay!
Good.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up there. Sound good?
I'm happy to wrap.
Good.
James says thanks for the shout out. See you soon.
Hey, see you soon, buddy.
See you, James.
Much love. All right, we are your beacon of light in a gloomy environment.
Carefully avoiding neonicotinoids.
We are the Siegfried and Roy and Meryl Streep of podcasts.
This show is a joke.
Never believe.
Step 1, chill out.
Great job. Thank you. Spilling the teeth since 2019.
Technically perfect.
Disterminating forever.
Like disterminating the news. Isn't it?
Disterminating the news. There you go. That's it. And then before we go, we say cheerio.
Bye.
Flawless show.
It's the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.